Welcome to my channel Worldwise. Today we're diving into the real story behind one of the most daring and dramatic rescue missions in CIA history. A story that changed the course of international relations and shocked the world. November 4th, 1979. Tehran wakes to tension. The city is on edge, the air thick with uncertainty and fear. Outside the US Embassy, hundreds of Iranian students gather, chanting against America and the Shah. Their anger is palpable, their determination clear. The protest erupts, students scale the walls, storming the compound. The embassy, once a symbol of diplomacy, is suddenly under siege. Inside, American diplomats are caught off guard. They scramble to understand what's happening as the noise outside grows louder. The students demand the US return the Shah, now in America, for cancer treatment. For them, this is about justice and reclaiming their country's dignity. To the protesters, the Shah is a criminal who must face justice. And the embassy is their only leverage to force America's hand. The Americans are declared spies, not diplomats, and taken hostage. The world's media quickly descends, broadcasting the chaos to millions. The world watches in shock as chaos unfolds. Inside, embassy staff frantically destroy sensitive documents, desperate to keep secrets from falling into the wrong hands. Staff frantically destroy sensitive documents, but there's not enough time. The students move quickly, rounding up everyone they find. The students, organized and determined, round up the staff. Ayatollah Khomeini's regime gives its blessing, and the takeover becomes official. Hopes for government intervention vanish. Khomeini's regime supports the takeover. The embassy is now a fortress, its windows shattered, its staff trapped. The embassy falls. 52 Americans become prisoners. Their faces, blindfolded and frightened, are paraded before the world's cameras. The students, hailed as heroes by many in Iran, parade blindfolded hostages before cameras. The revolution's energy is unstoppable. International law is ignored in revolutionary fervor. The embassy, once a place of safety, is now a symbol of defiance. The siege begins with no end in sight. For the hostages, fear and uncertainty become their new reality. For the hostages, it's the start of a 444-day ordeal. Families back home wait anxiously, hoping for news, as diplomats scramble for solutions. The embassy's fall marks a turning point in US-Iran relations. The world holds its breath as the crisis deepens, setting the stage for a dramatic rescue mission that would become legend. Amid the chaos and confusion that has gripped Tehran, the city is a powder keg. The streets are filled with angry protesters and the air is thick with fear and uncertainty. Inside the besieged consular building, 6 Americans realize that staying means certain capture. They see a fleeting chance to escape, a narrow window of opportunity that may never come again. Quietly, they slip out a side door, hearts pounding, and melt into Tehran's hostile streets, trying to disappear among the crowds and chaos. The group, Robert Anders, Cora and Mark Lijek, Joseph and Kathleen Stafford and Lee Schatz, have no plan, little money, and nowhere safe to go. Every step is a risk, every stranger a potential threat. Desperate, they try to reach the British embassy, hoping for sanctuary, but their hopes are dashed. Mobs have already surrounded it, making any approach impossible. For days they hide in cramped apartments and with a sympathetic Thai cook, always on edge, always fearing discovery by the revolutionaries hunting for Americans. Every knock at the door, every distant shout in the street could mean capture, imprisonment, or worse. The city is a maze of danger and suspicion. They are fugitives cut off from the world with no way to contact their families or their government. Anxiety and uncertainty weigh heavily on them, each hour stretching into eternity. They ration food, whisper in hushed voices, and try to keep their spirits up despite the constant fear. Trust becomes their lifeline. Married couples find comfort in each other's arms. The others face the long nights and gnawing fear alone, haunted by thoughts of what might happen next. Their freedom is fragile, their hope fading with each passing day as they wait for a sign, any sign, of rescue. They need a miracle, a safe haven and a rescue plan. The clock is ticking and time is running out. The roots of Tehran's fury trace back to the Shah's rule. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, backed by the West, modernized Iran but ruled with an iron fist. His secret police, Savak, crushed dissent brutally. The Shah's lavish lifestyle and US ties fueled resentment. Many saw modernization as an attack on Islamic values. Ayatollah Khomeini, exiled but influential, became the voice of opposition. His sermons, smuggled on cassette tapes, inspired millions. By 1978, revolution erupted, strikes and protests toppled the Shah. Khomeini returned to a hero's welcome, the revolution triumphed, but anger shifted to the US, seen as the Shah's enabler. The embassy became the next target. The takeover was a direct result of decades of repression and foreign interference. Iran's revolution had found a new enemy. The 6 Americans, desperate and running out of options, reach out to Canadian Ambassador Ken Taylor. Taylor and his wife Pat risk everything, opening their home and that of colleague John Sheardown to the fugitives. For 79 days, these Canadian homes become sanctuaries. The Canadians treat the Americans as guests, not burdens, sharing food and comfort. Secrecy is paramount. Food is bought in small amounts, every phone call is cautious. The Sheardowns even have a baby in the house, heightening the risk. Ambassador Taylor works with Canada and the CIA, gathering intelligence and preparing for escape. The Canadians' courage buys precious time for a rescue plan. Their bravery forges a lasting bond between the two nations. In Washington, the CIA scrambles for a rescue plan, urgently searching for any possible solution. Military options are too risky, land borders are sealed tight, making escape nearly impossible. Enter Tony Mendez, a legendary CIA exfiltration expert with a reputation for creative solutions. His audacious idea: create a fake Hollywood film crew scouting locations in Iran for a new movie. The 6 Americans will pose as Canadian filmmakers, using expertly forged documents and rehearsed cover stories. Mendez enlists Hollywood makeup artist John Chambers, a trusted friend and skilled collaborator. They find a sci-fi script, Lord of Light, and cleverly rename it Argo for their cover. Studio 6 Productions is born, complete with ads, posters, and a convincing public paper trail. The plan is elaborate, expensive, and their absolute best shot at a successful escape. The stage is set for a daring performance where everything depends on perfect execution. Tony Mendez arrives in Tehran with fake passports and a wild plan. The 6 Americans are skeptical, diplomats, not actors, thrust into a Hollywood ruse. Mendez assigns each a film crew role and backstory. He drills them on their new identities, Canadian film trivia, and how to act like Hollywood pros. Confidence is key. Flamboyance and arrogance are their best disguise. They rehearse, study storyboards, and practice their cover stories. The Canadian embassy prepares to close. Time is running out. Nerves run high as the escape day nears. They are no longer diplomats in hiding, but Studio 6 Productions. The final act will play out at the airport. January 27, 1980. Before dawn breaks, the 6 Americans and Tony Mendez quietly slip out of their safe houses, nerves on edge, and pile into waiting cars. The city of Tehran is still cloaked in darkness, its streets eerily empty as they make their way toward Mehrabad Airport, every turn of the wheel heavy with anticipation and fear. Revolutionary guards are everywhere, their presence impossible to ignore. Armed patrols and military checkpoints create an atmosphere thick with tension. Every glance from a guard feels like it could unravel the entire plan. The group clutches their fake Canadian passports and carefully prepared travel documents. They quietly rehearse their cover stories, each detail memorized, knowing that a single slip could mean disaster. Their roles as a Canadian film crew are about to face the ultimate test. At passport control, an official takes their documents and scrutinizes every page, his eyes darting between their faces and the photos. The group holds their breath as he suddenly disappears with the passports, leaving them in agonizing suspense. Minutes crawl by, each second stretching into eternity. Finally, the official returns, passport stamped. With a curt gesture, he waves them through. Relief washes over the group, but the danger is far from over. At the departure gate, a sudden flight delay is announced. The risk intensifies as they wait, exposed and vulnerable, surrounded by suspicious eyes and the ever-present threat of discovery. Mendez, ever the calm leader, quietly reassures the group. He reminds them to stay in character, to keep their composure, and to trust the plan. Their ability to remain calm under pressure is their only shield. Finally, boarding is called. A stern guard checks their documents one last time, his gaze lingering. After a tense moment, he nods them through, and the group moves quickly toward the plane. They board the Swissair flight, hearts pounding in their chests. Every step up the stairs feels like a step closer to freedom, but also to the unknown. Only as the plane lifts off the runway, wheels leaving Iranian soil, do they finally allow themselves to believe they might be safe. Quiet tears and smiles break out as the reality of escape sinks in. The impossible plan has worked. They are free at last. The tension of months in hiding gives way to overwhelming relief and gratitude. For years, the details of the Canadian caper remained classified, kept secret to protect the hostages still held in Iran and the people who risked everything to help. Canada is publicly credited for the daring rescue, while the CIA's crucial role stays hidden in the shadows, known only to a select few. The 6 Americans return home to a hero's welcome, embraced by loved ones and celebrated for their courage. Their escape becomes a symbol of hope, ingenuity, and international cooperation. The remaining hostages are finally freed in January 1981, after 444 harrowing days in captivity, bringing an end to a long and painful ordeal. The embassy crisis leaves a lasting mark, forever altering the relationship between the United States and Iran, and shaping the course of history in the region. If you enjoyed this story, check out my next video now.